Hello all. In this class we shall discuss about an important topic called as minimum support price. So we shall understand what is minimum support price, so who gives this minimum support price and why do they give this minimum support price and who are the beneficiaries of the minimum support price. So minimum support price is a minimum rate at which farmers sell their crops to the government. So farmers, after growing their produce, for example, it may be wheat or it may be rice or it may be jawar or it may be bajra. So when they sell to the government, so the government will buy these agricultural products at a minimum price, and that price is called as minimum support price. Okay, minimum support price. Next, why is this concept required, minimum support price? So this is to prevent the farmers from market fluctuation and offer stability and income security. So what does it mean? Now, after growing their produce, when a farmer goes to sell in the open market, then there are chances that the price may be very less. Okay, so when a farmer grows a crop, let us say wheat, so he will have a certain amount spent on its input. For example, he may have spent some amount on seeds, he may have spent some amount on the fertilizers, on labor, etc. So after spending all these things, when he goes to market to sell his produce, then he has to get some minimum profit. So in the open market, if there is a if the lot of items have come to the market, then probably the price of the wheat may fall down, and a farmer may suffer a loss. So in order to prevent such kind of losses, to the farmers because of the market fluctuation, so this MSP scheme has been introduced by the government to offer price stability to the farmers and also income security to farmers. So this minimum support price, hence it's an intervention of the government to support the farmers and to protect the farmers from market fluctuations and to ensure price stability to farmers and also to ensure income security to farmers. Next, so government announces the minimum support prices for 22 mandated crops. There are 22 mandated crops for which government announces minimum support price, and also it announces fair and remunerative price for sugarcane. 22 normal crops, and for one sugarcane it announces fair and remunerative price. Next, there is one commission called as Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices. So what does this commission do? So this is a commission which is attached to Ministry of Agriculture. So it works under Ministry of Agriculture. So it fixes minimum support, government fixes minimum support price based on its recommendation. So government, in order to fix the minimum support price, it requires some recommendations, that is how much price we have to fix and all those things. So here the recommendation is made by CACP, Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices. So the recommendations made by this commission are advisory in nature and it is not statutory. The body is statutory, and whatever the advices it makes, it's not binding on the government. So government, if it wants, it can accept, otherwise it can reject the advice as well. But generally government accepts the recommendations of CACP. So when CACP is recommending to the government about the various MSPs, minimum support prices, so it will take into account various cost. So here next we shall look into the cost involved in the production. Of a crop. So generally there are various terminologies used. For example, we come across a terminology called as A2. So A2, it includes all the production cost. Like it includes certain production costs. What are they? All paid out costs directly and incurred by the farmer in cash and kind on seeds. So whatever the amount a farmer has spent in purchasing the seeds, so that will be part of A2. Similarly, whatever the cost the farmer has spent in purchasing fertilizers, it is also part of A2. Pesticides, A2. Similarly, hired labor. So here a farmer requires a labor for many different works. So when he hires a labor, so that hired labor, whatever the farmer pays to a labor, so that is also part of A2. So here we have to note that, so whatever the farmer is also working on the field, so that will not be included as part of A2, only hired labor. Only hired labor is included as part of A2. Next, leased in land. So if a farmer takes a lease of land for growing the crops, so even that cost is included in A2. But if the farmer owns his own land, then that cost is not included here. Okay, means the cost of owning a land. Suppose if the farmer, if he had leased his land to someone else, whatever the profit that he used to get or whatever the revenue that he used to get, so that kind of computation is not used in A2. Okay, it means it only takes into account the cost involved in leasing the land. So it does not involve the cost when you own the land by yourself. Next, the amount that you spend on fuel, okay, that is diesel, petrol, etc., on irrigation. So all of them, they are included under A2. Okay, A2. Next is another what way of calculation? A2 plus FL. So this A2 plus FL, it includes A2. So already we have discussed about A2. Plus on top of that, it also includes the value of unpaid family labor. So in A2 we discussed that it includes only the hired labor. But when I say A2 plus FL, it also includes unpaid family labor. Okay. So the members of the family who will be working, so even though they are not paid, but if you take payment on par with the others hired labor, so whatever the payment you will be doing, the same will be assumed to the family members as well, and that cost is called as unpaid family labor. Okay, unpaid family labor. Next, C2. There is another way of calculating the input cost, that is C2. It's a more comprehensive cost. Okay, it's a more comprehensive cost. So already we have discussed about A2 plus FL, but on top of A2 plus FL cost, it also includes rentals and interest for owned land and fixed capital assets. So what does it mean? Now when you own a land, now so you need not pay the rent. But suppose if you had paid rent, so what would be that amount? So that amount will be taken into the production cost. So that is called as C2. Okay. So rentals on for owned land, okay, and fixed capital assets. So let us assume in your field, a farmer in his field, he uses a fixed capital asset like tractor. Okay, tractor. Now the same tractor, if he had if he had taken on rent, then whatever the rent he should have supposed to pay, so that amount is also taken in the calculation of C2. Okay, C2. So how is C2 different from A2 plus FL? It includes rentals and interest for owned land and also fixed capital assets like tractor. Okay, tractor. So it's a more comprehensive cost compared to A2 plus FL. A2 plus FL. Now when it comes to CACP, when it recommends to government, so it recommends the minimum support price based on A2 plus FL. It does not recommend based on C2. Okay, based on C2. So after taking the recommendation of CACP, government fixes MSP at 1.5 times the A2 plus FL. So what does it mean? So let us consider rice as an example. So the costs involved in growing 1 kg of rice, let us assume it is 100 rupees. Okay, it's 100 rupees. Then the government fixes MSP at 150 rupees. Means a farmer should gain at least 50% of the profit of the production cost. Okay, production cost. So in this fashion, CACP, it gives recommendation based on A2 plus FL, and government gives MSP at 1.5 times the A2 plus FL. Then we often see that farmers are agitating and protesting against the government. So what is the reason? So farmers are demanding that the returns which the government is offering, it should be 1.5 times the C2 system and not A2 plus FL. So farmers are saying, now you are giving us return MSP, but it is based on A2 plus FL cost. So please give us what returns based on C2 system, okay, which is a more comprehensive way of calculating or computing the production cost. Okay, so this is the illustration. Now next, I said government fixes the minimum support price, but government has again many departments, many ministries and all. So who exactly is involved in fixing the minimum support price? It's a cabinet committee on economic affairs. So there is a committee called as cabinet committee on economic affairs, which is chaired by Prime Minister of India. So this committee, it takes the final decision with respect to minimum support prices. So based on the recommendation of CACP. Okay, CACP. Next, the mandated crops are. So the crops which have been offered MSP are like this. So again, they have been classified into Kharif crops, Rabi crops and others. So under Kharif crops which have been offered MSP are paddy, jawar, bajra, ragi, maize, tur, moong, urad, groundnut, sunflower seed, soybean, sesamum, Niger seed, and cotton. And coming to Rabi crop, the crops which have been offered MSP are wheat, barley, gram, masoor, rapeseed, mustard, and sunflower. Okay, sunflower. Next, apart from these two other commercial crops, that is raw jute and copra, they have also been offered minimum support price. Next, list of crops. So again, commodity wise, so cereals, paddy, wheat, barley, jawar. So another way of classification. So here this is a list of cereals. So this is the list of pulses which have been offered a minimum support price. Next, so this is a list of oil seeds which have been offered a minimum support price, and raw jute and cotton. Okay, cotton. Next, government's price policy. So why has government made such kind of provisions of minimum support price and all? So to ensure remunerative prices for the farmers by offering to procure their produce at MSP. Okay, so farmers should get minimum benefits, minimum returns in order to sustain their motivation. So that's why if in the open market, if the prices are very less, then they should not be disheartened, they should not be demotivated. So in order to support the farmers, so government has got such kind of policies. However, farmers are free to sell their produce either to the government at MSP or in the open market. Now in the open market, if the price is more than what the government has fixed as MSP, then farmer has the freedom to sell it in the open market. Okay, but in the open market, if the price is very less, then farmer can sell it to the government, and here he will receive a minimum support price which will be on top of the cost of production. Okay, which will be 50% more than the cost of production. So this was about the minimum support price. So here we understood what is minimum support price, who offers minimum support price, that is Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs fixes it based on the recommendation of CACP, and we also discussed about the various crops to which minimum support prices are offered, and we also discussed why these minimum support prices are offered. So this was a brief about the minimum support prices, an important topic from exam point of view.